I recently got back from a 2-week trip to Phoenix for work. It went fairly well, other than being away from home and away from my wife for longer than I'd prefer. I worked, ate, drank, met with a prostitute, let's see, what else? Wait, you what? Yeah, I met with a prostitute, so? But you just said, oh, no, it wasn't like that. I just met her for brunch and we talked about feminism, that's all. Oh, okay. I think. Yeah, it was all above board. Her YouTube name is Feminist Whore, and she's actually not in the industry anymore anyway. She does videos on YouTube advocating for sex worker rights, and is considered a sex-positive feminist. We talked about the feminism wars that are raging on YouTube on the topic of whether or not sex work and those that do it should be condoned, protected, legalized, and so on. I looked at some of the comments and videos from the sex-negative camp, commonly known as antis, and decided that my creationist commenters are actually a lot nicer, and that I'm getting off easy. Yeah, go ahead. Make the joke. I know you want to. I'll wait. She even warned me about the hate I might receive from the antis by doing this video, but I decided that it was worth the risk, and besides, I know the Crocodile Army's got my back, which I sincerely appreciate. She explained to me that a lot of the conflict in the never-ending cage match called the feminist community is around the conflict between the social construction and essentialist views of feminism. I realize that I still have a lot to learn on the subject, and I'd be happy to hear what the objections of the antis are to what I'm going to say here, as a comment or a video response. But so far, from reading some articles and watching some videos, I've gathered the following. Social construction is the idea that most gender differences are created by humanity, and I suppose by extension, a lot of it by men. As this applies to sex workers, this seems to imply that there would not be a demand for sex work if women were truly respected, and thus it wouldn't exist if we decided that it was not the way to go in society. There seems to also be an undercurrent of sentiment in this branch of feminism that finds sex work to be by definition demeaning to women. Then, of course, there are the moral majority types that are against sex work on religious grounds. I find it quite interesting that a lot of the otherwise very liberal feminists on the anti-side are aligned with Christian conservatives on this particular issue. And in fact, one of the better-known antis, Antique Lens, had her channel flagged down by anti-abortion forces when she talked about being pro-choice. This is reason number 267, not to side with the religious conservatives if you can help it, in case you were keeping track. The essentialist view sees gender differences as far more rooted in biology, and sex-positive feminists are not as interested in marginalizing this difference. In this view, sex work is seen a lot more as a way for women to be empowered, potentially, if society would simply accept that the supply and demand that we are biologically programmed with is always going to tend to tip the balance toward women, more often getting whatever they want for free sexually. By extension, sex-positive feminists typically see legalized, regulated sex work as potentially healthy for society. I tend to agree with this view since the issues of abuse, disease, and coercion would be far less common in a regulated environment for both the workers and the clients. The solution on the other side seems to be ban it all, including porn and strippers, and that seems about as reasonable as when I hear people say that if we don't teach our kids sex ed in schools, that they won't try it. So that's what happened over brunch in Phoenix. Two people from very different walks of life enjoying some French toast and pancakes, and talking about the various philosophies of gender equality. Personally, I'm all for her right to do whatever she wants to do with her body, and I wish she had the option of doing it more safely if she wanted to. My name is Zonstar, and I'm a sex-positive feminist. Just be careful out there, okay?